Hi, if you are watching this video, then most probably you might have gotten this channel, this URL this URL from my resume. So in this video, I will be talking about about SOAP UI and API testing. Uh, in SOAP UI, I have created two separate projects. One for SOAP, one is for REST. I have used a couple of features which are available in SOAP UI, like transfer, custom properties, Groovy scripting, script assertion, things like that. So but I have done that if I'm using a functionality, a feature for testing in one of my project, I am refraining to use it in other project because I don't want to reiterate, and this video is just for education purpose. Just let me see that. Yeah, I'm recording well and good. First one is for my soap. uh, if you can see over here, then you will realize that I have just imported a project already. This one is for soap, and it has two different test suits. One of the test suit is for Groovy, and another one I'm not using Groovy at all. If I expand it over here, we will find that I have written test cases underneath them. So for everything, I'm using a soap. I am using soap request, and getting soap response, and obviously it is in XML. This is the visual file location, and I have copied all the visual file and pasted it in my online editor. In this way I would be able to see this code much more visually. If I search it over here, you will find that I have bindings. How many bindings do I have? I have three bindings. This one, last binding, is not being used. This middle one and the first one, these both of them have same functionality, but this one is the latest version. As you can see it right here. Yeah. As you can see it right here, under each binding there are a couple of operations. If let me just decrease the size. Yeah, couple of operation. First operation is get details of employee, add employee, or delete employee, obviously. Now we need to see that how many operation that we can do in here. We have visual types underneath that. If you see that, if you will find that we have a number of fields that can be used. Like for employee, we have a department ID, name, and it says how many occurrence can be there, what will be the type. It can be only int, string. So when you get this visual file, you need to check each and everything, and then you need to write the test cases. You need to write positive and negative test cases. You need to see how your API is reacting. If it is int, you will try to give alpha numeric value in here. This is minimum occurrence is 0. You need to check this also. If minimum occurrence is 1, you try to give minimum try not to give any minimum occurrence. In this way we will do negative testing. So this is all said and done. I had imported this visual file, and after importing them, I created these two test scenarios. I will talk about the first one, in which I am not using any groupie scripting to automate my test cases. If we go up here, you will realize, first of all, I need to tell you that in this API, add employee, we have, okay, The size is little bit less. Let me search online how to increase the font size. Increase font size in SOAP UI. Go to, yes, is this too big? No, it looks fine to me. As you can see here that this is my request. In this request you will find I have name, ID, department, age, and but in this API is happening that ID is unique. Not ID is unique, but name is unique. I don't know why this is so, but I will but this is how this API is working. The name is unique, ID is not unique, department is not unique, age is not unique, only ID is unique. If I want to get any employee details, I will give the name of the employee. Now you can see it right here that I am using a custom property. It is saying that go to test case and go to name. So I have it in test case. This is my test case. Let me increase the size. This is name, ID, department, age. Let me change the name to just to make it unique. Name can be word, string. So here is your string. ID is 124, which is supposed to be in int. Department in age. Department and age. So as you can see, everything I'm trying from test case ID, test case department, test case age. If I execute it from here, what will happen? It will take the data from the custom properties of the test case. It is saying employee already exists. Okay, no problem. But about this 19, it's what is the response? It is saying true. And okay, this is for employee, this is for add employee. What should be the response of add employee? This is add employee response. It should be returned as boolean. Is it boolean? It is. Look, true. Now one thing I wanted to show over here is the row. We always say that the request and response are HTML. See, for HTML to work, it should have how many things? It should have HTML start line, HTML header. It should have HTML not HTML but rather blank line, and then HTML body. I can't see anything over here. It can be seen in row. Looks like the font has not increased in here. When we write HTML start line, you will find that HTML version written over here 1.1. In fact, we have version 2 point something, but people are not using it because it's really bad and everyone is waiting for version 3. This one is for post. SOAP doesn't have any methods, so as a placeholder everything is using but post, so it is not doing anything important. This is just a placeholder. This over here, it has given the base URL with the resources, and this one, this part is HTML header. Some of things in HTML header are pretty standard. For example, we do content type SOAP XML. Yeah, obviously we are using SOAP, we are using XML. This one content line, this is also pretty standard. And when we come over here, we have a line. It's blank line. Why do we have a blank line? Because it is used to differentiate between what? HTML body and HTML header. In HTML body, what do we have? We have a string. Not string, but we have a SOAP. SOAP also have some parts. SOAP have an envelope. So SOAP has a body. Under envelope we have header and body, and under body we have a fold. Fold can only be a part of response. I haven't seen it in request ever. So, and I have seen it only in the response. So what I will do over here, I will re-execute this request, and I will yeah, and increase the font size, and yeah, as you can see, fold right under body. Awesome, right? Let's see the row. This time row is saying 500. Obviously the response won't be 200. Earlier it was 200. I haven't shown you, so that's my mistake. HTML version 1.1. Yeah, like I have told you, employee doesn't exist. This is the response message. We also need to check the response messages. If we are giving something wrong, there should be a sensible response message. See these HTML codes, the string for this HTML code is given, the message of this HTML status code is given by the developer. We need to make sure the developer is following the industry standards. If it's for 500, I don't want him or her to give something else, like this is a mistake of someone else, not an incorrect statement. I don't want the incorrect HTML message in HTML status code. This is HTML what? This is HTML header. Again, content type, SOAP, XML. These things over here, I think I forgot to tell you, we have a host also. We did, yeah, here it is a host. Yes, in the host we already have the base URL. This one space, this one is HTML body. In HTML body, what do we have? We have a response, and this also follows the same pattern. Envelope, under envelope we have body, we have body underneath both we have fold, under envelope we also have header, and that's all. We also have assertion just to check that if everything is written properly. So let's see, let me open my copy and check that if I have mentioned everything. Yes. At 3019, I will hit this delete employee request. I'm not getting any response. Actually, I'm getting response. The body is just empty. If I go to a row, it will say that 202. It means that it has accepted changes. It is just in the pipeline. So there is generally a question which is asked for me by people, that why do we need to write test cases when we already have written, we have this request with us. The reason being, because when we have test cases, we can write Groovy scripting, we can write assertion, we can use custom assertions. So it gives us the opportunity to automate them, or partially automate them, which I have done over here. It's a partial automation, I can say that. No, I think it's pretty much automated. So let's talk about some of the automations, some of the assertions that I have used. Right in here, if I open this one, right now everything, some of the assertions are failing, obviously, because I have given the same username again. So it is saying that this employee already exists. Let's open this first one. In this is the contains. What does it do? It will go, you know what, I will, just for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to change this one, execute this one. Assertions have passed. It is going to check for this value. NS return true, NS return, NS2 return. It say it's there, well and fine. SOAP response. This validation, this assertion comes by default, but it does that. It checks that, okay, if it has envelope body, under body it has faults, and it also checks for headers. It checks if everything is in proper order. This is HTML status code. It is checking that 200 is there or not. If I oopsie, if I write 201, it will most probably give me an error. Yes, it does. This is for the response. This is for checking the performance. I want my response time to be less than 1000 milliseconds. We usually ask this from the client or the developer that what should be the ideal response time. It is, if it is more than that, we can say that it has failed. So now I have talked about what? I have talked about custom properties. These custom properties can be a part of project level, test suite level, test case level. Okay. Let's see if we have any other assertions. We have any other assertions. If we go in here and we check that we have these assertion, XPath match assertion, XPath match assertion for, well, both on the XPath math assertion I have just made some changes. If we open this one, we will say that first one is the declaration of what? Declaration of ns. If we are checking for ns, it will say find the declaration of the ns. Where it is up here. So if I open here, I need to give declaration of ns, and then we are saying that we need to get the age. This is XPath obviously. So how will it work? It will traverse from here, parent to child, parent to child. This is how I have written, and in the end it is checking for 27. We have XPath match assertion again, but over here I'm checking the existing of a tag. I'm checking that if age tag is existing or not. So I've just tried to exist. We can also write count over here. Then it will check how many counts are there. This is called, this XPath is called absolute XPath. We can also write relative XPath just by removing everything and keeping it here. You know what? We will check this right here right now. It is working. It's working like a charm. So we have talked about assertion, response time assertion, response status assertion. SOAP response contains XPath. And I have also shown you the errors that we are getting. And I have also shown you the what do you call it, this custom properties. I totally forgot to tell you that we can import them. You see, we can import them from an external file, which is .properties file. I have written a property file. First of all, I will show this property file to you so that you can see. What we will do, we will import this. We will say nothing at all, and it will update them. Parrot 4000. Awesome, right? Let's talk about some other requests. This one, you see, we don't have any hash written over here. It doesn't have any project written. We don't have any test case written. We don't have a test suite written. And why? What is this? This is not a keyword. This, we are saying that go to this test tab, this one, go to the request and go to this XPath and pick up the name. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to get the employee details by getting the name. So instead of going just to response, I have taken the liberty just to go to request. Because I'm showcasing some of the things that I can do in SOAP UI. So what has happened, this is the add test suite, add employee. Underneath we am writing XPath, this and this and this, and this one is retrieving the value from where? Custom properties. If I enter, it will execute. In fact, it has already executed. It has already been executed. You know what? I will do it again. Let's see. Employee doesn't exist. Yeah. I have just made changes in the custom property. I have imported the new employee. So yeah, it makes sense. Let's talk about the next thing, which is property transfer. Here we have transferred the name values to get employee details, but this time we will again get the employee name in delete employee. But what is happening in delete employee? In delete employee, we again need to provide the name of the employee, but you will find that the name is already being placed over here. How this is working? Where is that formatting that we have used in here? This property transfer is coming into the picture. This property transfer, I have written a property transfer which is saying that go to this employee details, go to the response xpath again, and put them in delete employee in the request. This is simple declaration. This again is a simple declaration that I have shown you before. In this we are getting the text value and putting it right here, and when this is getting executed, it will automatically fill the values in here. Just give me a second. Just give me a second.